Good morning, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I thought that what I'd talk about today is university and whether or not you should study music technology or music tech at uni. Hopefully, if that's something you're thinking about doing, or if it's a subject you're interested in pursuing at a kind of graduate level, it'll just give you a bit of insight as to the pros and cons of going to a university institution and actually spending 3 years studying it. I'll quickly preface this video with a bit of background on my story and why I chose to study at a uni. I went to uni when I was a little bit older than everyone else. I turned 21 in my first year. The reason for that is because when I was at school, I basically did no work, no revision, got myself some incredibly shit A-levels, because in the last 2 years of me being at school, I was much more interested in music production. I think I had a cracked copy of Fruity Loops or something that my friend had given me. I was just fascinated by this and spent all of my time, when I should have been revising for my English literature exam, studying like how Fruity Loops worked. I knew that I wanted to do more academic work in music tech, so I went to the local college. I say local college, it wasn't really. I went to a place called Stroud College. I don't know if anyone watching this knows where Stroud even is, but it's kind of near a place called Gloucester, which is where I grew up and where my musical introduction to life came. I used to be a chorister at Gloucester Cathedral. Stroud College was the closest college to Gloucester that did music tech, so after I failed my A-levels basically, well, I didn't fail them, but I did really badly at them, I decided I'm going to go and do a 2-year BTEC in music tech at college, and I went, and it was great. There are lots and lots of stoners at Stroud. Anyone who knows Stroud will know that it's like the hippie capital of the UK, but I loved my time there. I did very well because I was actually studying something I was interested in, and then I just knew that I wanted to study it further and I wanted to go to university to do it, and I knew that pretty much from the moment I started at the college. Towards the end of college, did my university applications and settled on University of South Wales as the place I was going to go, and it's not the best uni. There are lots and lots of issues that I had when I was there, but it has amazing facilities and it just felt like the logical choice. I love Cardiff and I've lived here ever since. And for the duration of this time, I knew that I really wanted to be a media composer when I grew up and all of that stuff. So now I'm luckily in a position where I am pursuing that career and it's going all right, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this isn't about me trying to be a media composer, but anyway, that's my story. That's why I ended up studying music tech at uni, because for years I had known that I wanted to learn more, I wanted to experience more and just grow my understanding of the subject, and I wanted to experience a university degree as well, because university is about much more than just what you learn. Anyway, that's me. Should you study music tech at university? Well, it sort of depends. There are a few different things you should consider before going down that road, because it's 3 years of your life. You know, you get into a whole load of debt. I mean, it's student debt, so it's super manageable after university, but it's a long period of time and it's very expensive, and you really need to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. So firstly, why do you want to study it? Do you genuinely love the subject and want to get a degree so that you can broaden your understanding of it and learn new things and hopefully give you a bit of a sort of leg up into pursuing something in music tech as an actual career? Or do you just want to do any degree and you like playing around on music production software and it just seems like the logical choice? If it's the latter, then I'd say you probably shouldn't do it. Or not that you shouldn't do it, but you really don't need to do it. And that's not to say that it's an entirely bad idea if you are in that scenario. It could be that you just pursue it as a hobby, and going to university actually gives you that passion and that inspiration to pursue it at an even greater level. But if you're just interested in music tech as a sort of surface level thing, spending 3 years going to university does not mean that you're going to come out of that with, you know, a super incredibly great understanding of the subject and enable you to then have a career in the music industry. And that kind of brings me on to my next point. What do you want to get out of it? University is a big decision and you have to ensure that you're doing it for the right reasons. So yeah, think about what you want to get out of the degree, because you certainly will not get a job in the music industry because you have a music tech degree, or any other music degree for that matter. In fact, anything in the creative area, doing a uni degree in that subject does in no way mean that you're going to have a career in that field. Don't adopt the mindset of, oh, I'm doing a music tech degree, so as soon as that's finished, I'm just going to waltz into a job as an in-house recording engineer at like Air Adele Studios or something like that. It's not going to happen. And I'm not saying that it's completely impossible for that sort of scenario to present itself, but it is incredibly rare, and if you think that that's what will happen if you do a degree in music tech, then you're going to be really, really disappointed when you finish university and you're still working in a shop. But if you want the experience of going to university and you just want to kind of learn more about the subject and acknowledge that it may be that you never get to put that into practice in a professional way, if you just want to learn more about it and become more skilled in the various different elements of music tech that you learn at university, then you should do it. You know, that's a really good thing to do. But don't do a music tech degree because you think you're going to get a job in the music industry as a result of that. The next thing you should consider is whether or not music tech is even the right degree for you. As a subject, music technology covers a broad range of different things, from copyright law, composition, physics, digital signal processing, synthesis, production, recording engineering. There are loads of different things that you are going to study if you do a music tech course. And if you're only interested in becoming a recording engineer, for example, then you'd be better off getting a really good physics and maths A-level degree and applying to do the Tonmeister course at Surrey. So before you start, you need to understand that you're going to be learning about lots of different things, many of which you may find boring and uninteresting. I hated our music law and copyright law lectures. I also hated electronics because it was all physics and I'm terrible at physics. But if you're interested in music tech in general, if you want to build skill sets in various different areas, so you want to be able to mic up a drum kit properly, understand how the copyright works on your own music, and produce your own tracks and master and mix tracks for other people. If you want to have a kind of broad understanding of many different subjects, then music tech is a fantastic subject to take. And there are lots of different types of music tech courses you can choose from. Some will be called music production, some will be called creative music technology. You need to choose the one that fits you the best. So for example, my degree is a science degree, so I have a Bachelor of Science, because there were loads of modules on things like electronics and synthesis and whatnot. But if you went to do one of the more sort of creative ones that are maybe aimed more at singer-songwriters, then it'll be a Bachelor of Arts, and you'll probably have a heavier leaning towards performance-based modules. We had to do that as well. I hated it because I didn't want to be a performer. I loathed the fact that I had to be in a band with people, but anyway, it's all part of the experience. But yeah, make sure that you're looking at the various different music tech courses, what they offer and which one suits you the best. So those are like the three things that I would say are the most important factors to consider when choosing if you're going to go to university to study this. And my sort of fundamental advice to people who are just considering doing this is just be careful about why you're going to do it. These days in the UK, there's a university course for pretty much anything, and it's not difficult to get the financing and the loans to do so, which is good. It should be easy for people to go to university to get a further education if they want to. But because of that, it means that you can very easily just impulsively decide one month, oh yeah, actually I'm going to go to university. And then you don't want to be in a situation where you drop out of university, because then you're in debt anyway and you don't have a degree. So really think about why you want to do it. It's easy to go to university, but if you're only doing it because you want to spend 3 years not doing much work and pursuing a hobby interest for yourself, then you'd be much better off pursuing that hobby interest at home and doing your own research and not getting into £40,000 worth of debt and being able to work a job full-time, part-time, whatever, and save some money so you can actually buy a house one day. Try and think about whether or not you're actually genuinely going to do the work that's going to be necessary for the course to be valuable for you. And if you do genuinely want to go to university to study this subject and learn as much as you can and grow as a person and revel in the university experience whilst kind of growing your academic understanding of all of these different things, then go for it, because you'll have an amazing time. But do so knowing full well that it will not guarantee you any kind of career prospects in that field when you finish. And you'll have to put in a load of your own personal work to make it worthwhile. And be prepared for people to not take it seriously as a subject. There'll be people who, when you say you do music tech, will think that you're there because you want to be like the next Avicii, rest in peace, by the way, or a legend. Be prepared for people to make jokes and think that you're not studying a real subject. And be prepared for the people who fit that stereotype, because if you study music tech at any level, you will meet far more people that are there because they think that they're going to be the next big DJ or producer because they're doing a music tech degree, and spend their 3 years getting stoned and chatting about how much they hate the government and whatever bullshit they can come up with, not really doing any work. You'll meet far more of those types of people than people who actually really take it seriously. Just be prepared for that kind of behavior and understand that you're going to have to put in work, because university, as I said earlier, is about so much more than just the academic stuff that you're taught in lectures. There's a plethora of different things that you learn at university that aren't related to the actual subject matter of the course that you're doing, but you wouldn't get that experience if you hadn't gone to university. So think about that as well. Also, in terms of the academic stuff, you could learn so much just online. The whole world is, full of information. Just remember that fundamentally, people who are successful in their careers in any creative field, whether it's music or the arts or anything, they'll be successful whether or not they have a degree. You'll have lots of top people who studied at university and got a master's, and you'll also get people that don't even have A-levels. It's about you. It's about what you are willing to sacrifice and how much time you can put into really pursuing something that you want. So don't do a music tech degree if you want a career out of it. Do it because you love the subject. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this. If you've got all the way to the end of this video, then congrats, you're a trooper. I hope you found this information helpful or useful. If you have any further questions regarding it, let me know down in the comments section there. And the same goes if you have any general thoughts or comments on the video, whether or not you agreed with things I've said or disagreed with that, let me know all of that down there. I may do another video in the future where I actually go into a bit more depth about what it's like to study music technology for 3 years. So if people are interested in that kind of thing and getting a more in-depth breakdown of what the experience of studying it is actually like at university, then let me know and I'll be sure to do it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you very soon.